This is the Canon EOS R, and it's pretty good, but this is an EOS R that I've built out like a cinema camera. Now, I want to walk you guys through why I've built this camera out this way, walk you through the rig, some of the components, and hopefully give you guys some ideas to build out your own EOS R rig, or even for the upcoming EOS R5 that, as of filming this video, it's slated to be released tomorrow. So let's talk about it. Now, let's get one thing straight. The only thing that you need on this rig to get the best image quality possible is the camera body, obviously, and this external recorder. All this other stuff affects how I shoot with the camera, but it doesn't actually do anything for the image quality of the camera. As a lot of you guys know, the EOS R will record 4K 8-bit 422 at an H.264 codec internally. With this monitor, you get to bump that up from an 8-bit codec to a 10-bit 422 codec, so a lot more color information to work with, and it does it at 480 megabit per second uncompressed ProRes. The majority of my projects are all ProRes, so being able to shoot straight into an uncompressed ProRes is super clutch. It means I don't have to do any transcoding of my footage when I get it back to my computer. It's already in ProRes, super convenient. Now, the only thing that I might change, with that being said, for this being an EOS R5, is obviously the cage, because these cages are custom built to fit each specific camera body. I probably won't need the capability of an external recorder, so I'll probably change this over to be just a monitor when I get into an R5 in this small rig. As you guys know, this is the EOS R, and I shoot this sometimes as an A camera, but I usually am shooting it as a B camera to my C200, which I am filming on right now. It's a really slick little setup to pair well with the C200. This uncompressed ProRes at 480 megabit per second, the 10-bit codec, really pairs well with the C200 RAW. So it is really good as a companion camera to the C200. Obviously, I've been talking about it a whole bunch up till now. At the core of this thing is the EOS R. You guys know all about that camera. If you don't, go watch some other YouTube videos. I've done a couple YouTube videos about it, but go watch some other YouTube videos. Wrapped around the EOS R is this small rig cage. Now, I like small rig stuff for these smaller mirrorless camera setups. I think they do it right. I think the price point is right. I don't love their cages for bigger cinema camera kind of setups. I have a bright tangerine cage on this C200, and I love that. But for small mirrorless cameras, the price point is right, and I don't think anybody does it better than Small Rig. They've been building cages for mirrorless cameras and DSLRs for a long time, and like I said, the price point is just right. So I have the Small Rig cage on here. On top of that is this top handle. This is, again, the Small Rig top handle. It is the one with the RE locating pins. So they have several different mounting types of this exact top handle, but this is by far my favorite. I really love it. Now, on the bottom of this cage, there's this piece, which is my lightweight support rail mount system. I'll link all these pieces in the description down below. Small Rig is kind of like Legos or an erector set for your cameras. They have all these different parts, and they literally, you can just bolt them together and fit them together to build out a custom rig. They're really awesome that way, but it also makes it a little bit confusing when you're trying to do a video like this where you've got multiple of them. So I'll link everything in the description down below if you guys want to check them out. But yeah, this is my lightweight support rod mounting base plate. It just goes on the bottom of the cage and provides a place. You can see these rods that run the whole length of the length of the camera. Those are 12-inch carbon fiber small rig rods. Again, nothing special. That just provides something to mount all these different accessories to. All these accessories are mounted to these rods. They're not mounted to the camera or the cage or anything like that. They're mounted to these rods. So that's what the rod support base plate does, is it allows you to attach these rods to the bottom of the camera and give you a place to mount all of your accessories. We'll just start at the back then of everything mounted on the camera and move our way forward. I have on the back of the camera is my V-mount battery plate. This is one from Tilta. It has a bunch of different ports. It has two 12-volt outs, one 8-volt out, a D-tap out, and it just works really great. You can shift it forward to backwards on the rails, obviously, but you can also change the angle. So it's really nice just to be able to dial in the right balance, because ideally you want your camera to be somewhat back-weighted so that whenever you hold it with a finger at the front of the handle or around the center of the camera, it tilts back ever so slightly. That gives you the most stable kind of purchase on your camera. But yeah, this battery plate, I love it. On it, I have the Core SWX. This is the older one. This is a HyperCore HC9. It's a 98 watt-hour V-mount battery. The reason I power this camera off of V-mount power is really just because I was like suffering from battery anxiety on shoot days. I would show up to shoot, whether it be a wedding or a project or whatever, and I'm running all these different battery types on this camera. You know, the camera obviously takes a Canon LPE6 battery. The monitor takes a Sony NPF L series battery. The follow focus controller takes a really weird standard. It looks like AA, but it's not actually AA. It's like a 14650 battery, something like that. It's a weird rechargeable battery, but the follow focus motor only takes USB power. So if I wasn't running a V-mount battery that had a USB power out, I would literally have to mount an external battery bank, like an Anchor power bank to this or something, to be able to run USB power to it. It was just getting to be too much. I was too stressed about batteries. Do I have enough of the right kind of batteries? Are they all charged? Like, it was just bringing a lot of unnecessary anxiety to me on shoot days. So I made the decision to go to V-mount for this system. It's not cheap. Each one of these batteries, I think when I bought these, they cost maybe like $350 a piece. And the 150 watt hour battery, I think ran me almost $600. It wasn't, these aren't cheap batteries. They're very, very expensive batteries. But they just provide peace of mind, because I now show up to shoot a wedding with 3 of these. No other batteries, no chargers, nothing. I show up with 3 of these, turn my camera on, leave it on all day. I have to change batteries once, and by the end of the day, I still have probably 30% battery on my second, and I never even touch my third battery. So it just brought a lot of peace of mind, not having to worry about power on shoot days. Can't say enough good things about V-mount batteries. If you guys are looking for like one of the single greatest things to change your game with shooting video for weddings, V-mount power. If you can stop worrying about batteries and chargers and all that stuff, you know, that takes your focus off of shooting and creating, it's going to be a good thing. So V-mount power is really, really awesome. Highly recommend it. Next up, I mentioned this follow focus. This is the Tilta Nucleus Nano. It's a wireless follow focus. This is the controller. This is the motor over here. You can't go wrong with this. For a small camera like this, this thing comes in at like under $200-300, I think. I want to say it's like $260 or something like that. And it's just reliable. Like, I've never had a problem with it. You can set A, B, and an out point. So it really, really helps you. If you manually focus, it really helps be able to nail focus and be super precise. I love this system. It works really, really great for a small rig like this. Moving back behind the follow focus, I have this lens support, and I bought that not because this camera really needs a lens support. It's not like the lens is super heavy and putting a lot of strain on the lens mount. I wasn't worried about that. But what I was running into is my camera would be turning a little bit, not a lot, because these cages are pretty form fit to the camera, but my camera was turning the tiniest little bit inside the cage, and that was enough to really bind up my follow focus motor. So I got this lens mount to just add another point of contact to this camera, so it no longer turns inside that cage, and it works great. I have no complaints. It solved the problem instantly. Best $25 spent on this entire rig, no joke, because it solved a real problem. As I said before, this is the Ninja V external recorder and monitor. It records straight to SSDs, so I really like that system. I use the Sony Atom X SSDs and then the Angelbird Atom X SSDs as well. I have a couple of each of those. Aside from that, just odds and ends stuff. You'll notice there's no matte box on this camera, and part of that is to keep it as small and light as possible. Obviously, if you've ever seen a matte box, they get big, they get bulky really quick. But it's also due in part because I use the Canon EF to RF lens mount adapter with the drop-in filter tray. So this is the clear filter. But I have an ND filter that I'm able to drop in there and essentially get built-in ND on my camera all the time, which is great. It eliminates the need for a matte box. I can get away shooting a wedding with just that lens mount adapter on there. And then I have the clear filter like I just showed you to drop in whenever things get low light and I no longer need ND. But from there, it's really just wiring stuff. This is an Atomos cable. It goes from mini HDMI to full-size HDMI. Is like a $70 HDMI cable, but what are you gonna do? I have these just normal barrel connectors cables powering my monitor. So this is the Atomos provided adapter. It just ships in the box with all monitors, all Atomos monitors. It slots into an NPF battery slot. But it's got the barrel connector so you can provide mains power to it. I run a 12-volt barrel cable from my V mount plate straight into that. Powers the monitor great. And then I have an 8-volt barrel power cable that goes to a Canon dummy battery inside the camera. Powers the camera. I have a D-tap to micro USB that powers the follow focus motor. And then just a regular USB cable to power the follow focus controller, and it, like I said, works great. I will never go back. But yeah, guys, just all in all, I really love this camera rig. I've been shooting with it for about 2 years now. Shortly after the EOS R came out, I rigged it out like this. It's just a great camera, guys. But that's it. I really appreciate you checking out this video. If you, like I said, are interested in checking out any of these pieces for yourself, for your EOS R build or your EOS R5, be sure to check out my affiliate links in the description. I can't tell you guys how much I've appreciated your support on my last video, the Peak Design travel tripod video. You guys have been commenting and liking. It quickly became the most viewed video on my channel, but you've also been going to the affiliate links and picking up tripods through my affiliate links, and that's just a huge support to me. I can't tell you how much that means to me, especially in a season like this where, as a full-time self-employed filmmaker, I'm losing out on a lot of business due to coronavirus stuff and all that kind of thing. So I really appreciate you guys. I love seeing some community getting built around this content that I'm making on YouTube, and I can't tell you how much it means to me that you guys want to be a part. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to hit that thumbs up button, and if you're feeling particularly awesome, go ahead and subscribe for some more videos like this, as well as some more storytelling stuff. I do want to not just make pure gear videos on this channel, but do want to get into some storytelling and do some more actual cinematic creation, as that is what I do. Believe it or not, I don't just sit here and review gear and talk about gear on video. I actually make stuff for people as well. So if you guys are down for that, go ahead and subscribe. And yeah, I just really appreciate you guys. We'll see you in the next video. As always, stay awesome. Much love. Peace.